What's up, everyone? This is your boy Siphiwe, Yola Mbata. I'm back again with a new entrepreneur video. I'm super excited because in this episode, I'll be interviewing the CEO and founder of the Bioscope Cinema. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good, man. Never really referred to myself as a CEO, but I guess I am. I'm the owner. Makes me sound fancier than I am.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. It's great to see you again.
It's good to see you. So can you introduce yourself to the viewers? Who are you?
So my name is Russell Grant, and I am the founder and owner of the Bioscope. I founded it with a friend of mine. His name was Daryl, back in 2010, back when the idea of having a cinema that wasn't a sort of a traditional shopping mall, mainstream Hollywood cinema, when the thought of that was a strange one, and almost one would question whether or not you think something like that would even make money or make sense or be, would there be a market for that? But we felt that there was, and we also recognized that if we didn't do it, someone would do something like this. There was lots of pop-ups, and there always has been these kind of cinema initiatives that have taken place in other spaces, but the bold move, the big move was, can you have a permanent one that screens films every night of the week, not just popping up on a rooftop on a Friday night? Like, could you do this day in and day out? And thankfully we sort of quickly realized that like this was a good decision, and we were going to be perhaps one of the only ones to do this, and it was exciting, and it's been an exciting decade. We've done this for 10 years.
Wow, that's interesting. So 10 years.
10 years,
So,
man.
so during the World Cup, you were thinking of starting a cinema.
Yeah, we opened it sort of during it. It was quite strange and weird, and we fell into the category of businesses that didn't do well during the World Cup because obviously everyone was watching soccer.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I mean, it was all part of like sort of just an exciting time, and an exciting time for the city and for the country. But for the city specifically, our original place was in Mbata. And especially in 2010, something as unique and as different as starting an independent cinema was very similar to something as daring and unique as Mbata, which was, can you go into a largely forgotten about part of industrial downtown and create a hub of businesses and things, and sort of revitalize this, not necessarily like fallen apart part of Joburg, but like a sort of not considered part of Joburg because they were just industrial buildings.
Yeah.
And so there was so much excitement around Mbata, and we were there at the start of it. So whenever they mentioned Mbata, they always mentioned the fact that, and it has a cinema. So we leveraged so much of it at the time, and it was very exciting. But then after a bunch of years, we just found we were kind of sort of really architecturally looking for something a bit better, because we'd kind of started learning what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
Mbata was just getting more and more like busy and loud, which is perfectly fine for a street in Joburg. It's what you want. You want it to be alive, but it was perhaps a bit too loud and a bit too alive for us.
And that's why you moved to...
And that's why we moved to 44 Stanley, which is just a little calmer. It's a little more controlled, where you realize that good cinema often is calm and patient and needs time and there's nothing calm and patient about downtown Joburg. So it's not me putting it down.
Yeah.
It's going strong, but we just felt we needed a better space, and we needed to kind of a better space for us, and we found that also just starting things from scratch again could help us build the cinema in a way that would work better.
Yeah. Actually, I'm loving this new space as well. It's looking very nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we were able to make certain tweaks that just help it from a sound and perspective, Architecturally, it works, and so yeah, we've been very happy. And also just like little things like having a projection booth.
Wow.
You know, like that's what every cinema
realize-
has.
so-
But we never had that at the Bioscope. We had our projector sort of mounted to the roof, and you know, so if
Yeah.
something was going wrong, you can't just sort of
Jump up and
fix it. Everyone would
Yeah.
sort of see what was going on. No, it was very like very DIY, but
yeah.
we
But
took
I would-
this to the
I would like
next
to.
level.
I would like to know. Do you have a background in filmmaking for you to decide to start a cinema?
Yeah, so I studied film at Wits. So I studied the degree at Wits that you would do to become a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So did the guy that I started the cinema with, Daryl.
Yeah.
And he wrote his thesis on whether or not there was space for something like this in Johannesburg. And I was his buddy that then came along with it. But we recognized that there was this gap. There were, as I said, a couple of pop-up nights that was showcasing films, but nothing was really like this serious, like sort of night after night. You know, a good South African film for the Bioscope, we treat that like our Marvel movie.
Yeah. True.
You know, like a good award-winning, celebrated, great South African film. Like that's our Avengers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna treat that like the way a shopping mall cinema would treat their Avengers
Yeah.
film. And so, you know, when no one else was really doing that, or that wasn't available to any other filmmaker, we knew that there was that gap.
Yeah.
And I learned quite quickly in my personal film studies that I didn't really want to be a director.
Yeah.
I recognized that I wasn't too happy to be an editor. I didn't like being in the
You
dark.
liked the business side of.
If anything, I was recognizing I was probably becoming more of a producer, because I liked the overall planning of it, and I liked the DVD box before the movie was even made. You know, like
Yeah.
before the movie was even finished. I liked the physical. I liked publishing. I liked that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So I never really made much films myself personally outside of film school, but can obviously really appreciate the making of films from that brief time. But yeah, this is our contribution,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed
It's a
to
beautiful
being another
contribution.
director or another maker of stuff. Sometimes someone's got to put up their hand to say, well, I'm going to do this quite specific
And then
thing.
can I ask, when you started the Bioscope, did you have like funding?
No, not really. Not in the broad sense of how one sort of thinks of funding. We started it on something like 120,000 rand, which is like
Sure.
not a lot of money at
It's
all.
not. Yeah. I mean, it's not. Yeah.
And it was a small little operation. We never took over that cafe next door
the one in.
in Maboneng. So
Yeah.
we just, for the first 6 months, was just this little sort of 80 square meter thing, of which the majority of it was the cinema, and we had a little sort of cafe area in the front. The little lobby was all we had. And just a fridge, a till, a projector. The big thing was getting the seats donated by the developer of the precinct, which really helped us. The first seats, not these ones. We then did a fundraiser for these seats. But yeah, we started it with
From nothing, basically.
with nothing, and we were able to pay. We actually, each of us asked our dads for 60,000 rand, which
Which
is,
became 120.
which was 120, and we did it
Yeah.
on that budget, and we quickly realized how someone could so easily make the mistake of spending loads and loads of money on something like a cinema.
Yeah.
The sound system was the sound system that my parents had in their living room.
Sure.
You know, like it was, and it's a good Technics stereo sound system. So it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's certainly not the best. But you know, the stuff that we were screening wasn't Fast and the Furious. We didn't need just kind of like 7.1. We just were screening these smaller documentaries, and so like just a good stereo mix was kind of all we needed, and we
Yeah.
kind of still keep that just to this day.
Yeah, but you know, I love the fact that you didn't have funding, but then you saw a gap, and you said, "No, let me start this." Where so many, I mean, filmmakers or entrepreneurs, we look for millions to start a business.
Yeah, well, as I said, we the first few budgets of the Bioscope, one was looking at like hundreds of thousands of rands, and like, you know, and as I said, you could clearly see why so many people would get stuck doing it. But the big thing was the seats. The fact that there was this old church that was in the building, and the developer sort of stumbled across these seats, and so we were able to use those in the beginning, because that would have been a big cost.
Yeah.
So we were lucky to sort of have that. We were, in many ways, privileged to sort of be able to go to our dads and get something like 60,000 rand, which it's not a lot of money, but for many people that is also quite a lot of money. So we recognized that, and then we just worked so hard.
You know, I would like to, you know, the first time I heard about the Bioscope, I think it was 2017. I had done my second feature. Then a friend of mine, you know, that I went to school with, he was like, you know, you came to AVDA to speak to them about the Bioscope, and then he told me about the Bioscope. Then I came there, I spoke to you. You know, on my side, the Bioscope has really helped me, because I think all of my movies, I've premiered them at the Bioscope, and every premiere has been sold out. You know, so
It's magic, man.
You've provided a platform for us independent filmmakers to be able to screen our movies. Because I mean, when you want to go to a traditional cinema, you know, I'm sure you'd need a lot of money to even screen a movie there. But the Bioscope is reasonable. You know, we can afford it, for example, as independent filmmakers, and we can screen a movie. It's a proper cinema. So on my side, thanks for that, man. Like you've really helped me a lot.
And you were just such a lovely sort of story for me, because, you know, we do get a lot of guys renting the cinema out for their films and their short films, but you sort of approached it in a really interesting way, because you know, we have guys email, we work it out, the event happens, but the way you conducted yourself was quite special. You were like, you sent me pictures of it, and you were like, it was sold out, it was great, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm coming back next month, and I'm like, okay, wait, who's this guy again? Like, and then by the sort of third time, I was like, all right, this is amazing. Like, I totally get it. It's amazing that I see what kind of films you're making. I can see the hustle. I can see the thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thanks a lot. Because with my belief is filmmakers must not wait for funding. We must always use what we have, and you know.
No, I believe that too. And like, one must be smart, and one must. And I've just personally, I've just always been that, which is like I'd rather just make it. I'd rather try. I'd rather get down the line, and then if it doesn't work, you can turn around and be like, okay, well, I tried. But so many, it's interesting. Someone once said to me, it was one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me, because there was a bit of honesty in it. They said, the best thing about you is that you try all your ideas.
Yeah.
And they said to me, some of my friends might have better ideas than you, but they don't try them. And I was like, oh, that's great. So it's like, you're admitting the fact that perhaps some of my ideas aren't necessarily the best ones. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. But they were like, at least you try them. Yeah. And I was like, I like that. I like that mentality. That comment stuck with me, and I was like, I think I'm always going to do that.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, they might not always be the best ideas, but at least try them.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Russell. So I'm sure a lot of people are learning a lot from this interview. But can you tell me about the Bioscope? So this cinema that we are in, how many seats does it have?
So the Bioscope is just the one cinema. We've got 47 seats. So it's less than our previous spot. And we're only selling half, so during COVID, so 24.
Because I remember the one in Maboneng, I think it was
62, yeah.
62 seats.
Yeah.
But
what we wanted to do here is give people a bit more space.
Yeah.
We've built this wooden table in front of you. So we're encouraging the idea of eating in the cinema and drinking in the cinema. There's a better place to sort of store your stuff. So the sort of entrepreneurial thinking there was, okay, we've got less seats, but we might now stand to make more per seat. And just by virtue of where we are, and the neighborhood, and just the access to sort of more people that perhaps weren't happy to come into town. You can argue whether they're right or wrong, but there were just undoubtedly people that didn't want to come to town
Because of safety, yeah.
because
yeah.
of safety and all that, which I've always just respected. That's no longer an issue. So it's like you sort of no longer have like a crutch, or you no longer have a sort of a weight on you. It's like if you're running and you're running with weights on your legs. It's like we no longer have that. And just the venue hires have been more. People are using the cinema more for birthdays and private events and things like that. More than that happened in Maboneng. So it's been
and I must say,
exciting evolution. We've got more of a gift shop as well.
Oh, wow.
We're selling more film-related stuff, like vinyls and soundtrack vinyls and film books, and we never sort of had that in Maboneng. We never really sort of had a retail, like a sort of gift shop.
Nice.
But
and you sell the best pizza, I must add.
Thanks,
you sell
man.
the best pizza in.
Appreciate it. No, we work
I love
hard on that.
The pizza in Maboneng. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the one in Maboneng, I really used to enjoy it. I'm gonna try the one here.
It's exact same.
Interview.
Exact same
love
people, exact same oven, exact same everything. So
Yeah.
that would be lovely. No, we're very proud of the cafe. Obviously in this shopping center, there's some amazing places to eat and
So
drink.
that's the nice thing as well, is that when people come to Auckland Park for the first Stanley, there's so many shops as well that they can.
And they're all very similar, and they're all the spirit of what the of Maboneng precinct sort of also lives on in a place like 44 Stanley. They've always been kind of quite similar spaces.
Yeah.
So it was a very natural move to come to a space like this.
Nice. And then if people want to book the cinema to screen their movie, how does it work?
So you just got to email us. We've got one email address. It's the one that you'll see. It's info@thebioscope.co.za, and we'll work it out. We'll figure out what exactly it is you're looking to do, whether you're a production company wanting to hire it to premiere a film, or if it's just personal for a birthday. We even take the rate down the lowest if it's a private personal hire and it's just two people. Because sometimes like couples hire the cinema. It's for just two people.
Well, for like a dinner.
Yeah, they come and they watch a movie together.
Nice.
And it's just like an anniversary
Nice.
maybe, or like someone's birthday.
Wow.
So like there's that. People hire the cinema for all sorts of things. It's lovely.
Yeah. No, great stuff. So what I'll do is I'll put the contacts, on the link in the description, and then people can see, the email as well.
Yeah.
I'll put it on
lovely.
then. But I love the Bioscope, Russell. The
Thanks,
Bioscope is
man.
like home to me. Whenever I think
that's
of a movie,
important.
I
That's
think of the
important.
Bioscope.
It's important to me, and it's important that it's become that, and I think you and me both, just embody that idea of like just make it, get it.
Yeah.
Get it done, like if I've got an inspiration to do a very particular kind of night or in a particular kind of an event for the public, I've got no one stopping me.
Yeah.
I don't have bureaucracy, or I don't have to get it, obviously I've got to get certain permissions like the rights to screen the film, but that's all very possible, but it's just, you just got to try it. And then if nobody comes for that, then you're like, all right, well, that didn't work. But you have to try, and you really have to do it. You can't just talk about doing it.
I was going to ask you, if you have any closing words, but
I think those were
exactly
my closing words.
Then you have to do it. You must not wait for anything, So you said people can just email if they want to.
Yeah, just
screen?
email us, and then also you'll see on our website what we're screening.
Nice.
Instagram is a good place to follow us.
Yeah.
And
And I just want to add that if you're an independent filmmaker out there and you want a place where you can screen your movie, the Bioscope is the perfect place. I mean, it's really helped me in my career a lot. So, all the premieres that we've done, they've been sold out, and we're going to keep doing more premieres, more screenings at the Bioscope. So, from me, your boy, Siphiwe, Yola. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more content from Favor Media. Mr. Russell, thank you so much for having me.
great. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the Bioscope. Thank you for the pizza at the Bioscope. Thank you for this amazing cinema.
No, thanks, man.
It's a wrap. See you on the next one.